Hi, Elizabeth Diamond here with a special call. I get a tarot reading today, yay, with my new friend Rachel. And today's January 4th, 2015, January 4th, 2015, Sunday, right, Rachel?
Yes.
Yeah. Nice to meet you. Where do you guys live again?
We live in Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Beautiful land. I took a spontaneous road trip up there. You know, I'm a single mom. I raised my kids there, and they're in their early 30s now. But when they were like 4 years old and 5, the single mom just took the leap of faith and went to see a guy she liked up there in Tennessee. I drove through Kentucky. Oh, it was an awesome trip. The kids. Huh?
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Did I break up again? I was just saying, go ahead.
Oh, and I remember in Kentucky, my radiator hose broke when we were driving a single mom with these little kids, right? And it broke. I got out, opened the hood, and I said, oh, no, what am I going to do? I was out in the middle of nowhere in Kentucky. I'm far from home. I'm from Nebraska. You know, I lived in Nebraska. And all of a sudden, somebody showed up. I didn't even see them drive up. They even had a radiator hose with them. And he fixed it, and he fixed it for free. Talk about never know when you run into angels, right?
Wow, yeah, wow, that is wild. You know, it makes sense to me, though. I think just living here, Kentucky, I think it's a very special place. There were a lot of Native Americans who lived here. And just driving through it, I've had a couple drives through there, and, like, just had very, like, I don't know, just very deep, like, I almost was, like, meditative while I was driving through it, because it's just so beautiful, and you can just feel like you're really connected to the land. Like, I don't know, something else.
You went into a trance-like state probably, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, yeah, the mountains and everything surrounding you, the trees and all that, nature.
Yeah, there's a lot of nature still here, which is nice. It's, you know, kind of disappears in some places, but.
Well, okay, let me tell you something. Let me share something for you. Don't be scared.
Okay.
Don't be surprised when you're driving down one of those roads one day and you are driving and all of a sudden you find yourself driving in another state. And that has happened to some, you know, I come from the Christian realm. I've heard many stories like that. They were driving. They had to go to a conference to be the guest in a conference like 5 hours away. They started driving. They were late, and they drove, and then they look up, and they saw another sign of a state, and they were there in like an hour.
Weird. You mean like,
like time travel, girl. Like warping it into the glory zone, girl.
Oh, my gosh. I know. You know, what's funny is, like, that's never happened to me, but I've been driving for, like, a long time. I've been on 2 major road trips. One of them, I went with a friend out to Washington State, all the way from here in Kentucky. And we drove straight through with no sleep, 30 hours. We just traded off driving and kind of took turns sleeping, but it wasn't good sleep. And I was having, like, thoughts like that, like I'd feel like I swore we just were somewhere else, and I was like, are we going to just end up, like, where are we? I don't know. Are we going to end up somewhere else totally unexpected? Like, I didn't notice that happening, but I can see how that would happen. It just...
The speed zone. You were on the glory train. Didn't even know it.
Yeah.
One more story. There was a lady, she just came from a Christian conference, you know, in the heavy drunken glory, and just all vibrated up, you know, and she was driving and with her kids, and something happened to her car, but she was going down a hill, and she was going to collide with the semi. I mean, like T-bone the semi. And something happened. She went right through that semi, literally, right through it like a ghost. Examples like this are going to happen even this year. So don't be afraid. Just go with it. Something happened to me the other night. and I was prepared by a word, don't fear. So when it happened, I just told myself, don't fear. Okay, I'm just going to relax into it, and it was glorious.
That happens. That's how you know. I mean, I've had that happen with a very angelic presence. It was.
Yes.
That's what it says. It says that first, like, don't fear, first thing, you know.
Yeah, because if you go into the fear, it chases it away. You know what I mean? Doesn't match with the vibration. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, nice to meet you, honey. I love your voice.
Me too. Thank you. All right, so we can go ahead and get started. So
I want before we do this, I want, if that's okay, I may put this out in public. Yeah. Is that okay for you?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so before we start, I want to just give your name and what you do, your journey to, the tarot card reading, what tarot cards are, sure, just a little bit, and explain it in mainstream language so people like from the Christian realm, other religions, can understand it spiritually, and then your website and where we can, your connection where people can go when they hear this, they may want to get a reading from you.
Okay, cool, great.
Or purchase a reading from you, yes. Give energy back in kind to you for your spiritual.
Thank you.
Yes.
So basically, this whole journey started, actually, just to put it out there right now, the tarot cards are still fairly new to me. So that's part of why Athen kind of was suggesting me, because I've been recently talking to more people, more one-on-one readings, just trying to practice. Right now I'm still using a lot of my own intuition with the cards. So sometimes I may or may not use the most traditional aspect of the tarot because I'm still in the process of learning that, but I feel like this is how Athen, he started his astrology the same way. He just jumped right into it, got used to trusting his intuition, and so that's what I'm doing too with the tarot.
Well, let me interject here. Honey, things are changing, paradigm shifting, doing a different way of thinking, a different way of doing things with your diamond uniqueness. So don't feel that you have to do the traditional way. You just follow your tradition. And just because you're new at it doesn't mean that you're not perfect at it right now, because we are in the glory zone.
Yes. So, thank you for that. That really means a lot, because I do feel that way too. It helps to hear it reflected back, definitely. So just for more background's sake, for about it's really been about 3 or 4 years now, ever since I was in college, I was really interested in psychology. I didn't major in psychology. I actually majored in advertising, which taught me a lot about how the world works and how images and messages are used to shape our reality. And that's really ultimately why I took that major, because everyone was kind of like, you're taking advertising? Because I was more of a philosophy person. And I did minor in philosophy, but I just had a big interest in learning how advertising, how our world was shaped by that, and those images and messages. So I've always kind of just naturally had a very strong connection to, you could say, the collective unconscious. And that's where my studying into Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist, came in. He's the one who came up with the collective unconscious term, the archetypes of our consciousness, things like that. And he used that in his psychology. And what made his psychology different from the most popular psychology, which is Freud's, is that he believed the whole time through his practice that the psyche is a spiritual thing, that the psyche is spiritual nature. It's not just a material nature. That actually fundamentally it is spiritual. So
absolutely. Let me just interject here. Carl Jung, and you talk about philosophers and all those philosophers, Carl Jung, and researchers, even in science, that are out there in the mainstream media and that we studied in school. Some of those have been put in this in there on purpose to deceive us. So we got to search for the true philosophers that came out, and some were true and then got twisted in their stuff, they compromised, but they're out there. So I just want to interject that for the people waking up.
Yeah, absolutely. And Carl Jung is a great one to look into if you're into philosophy and psychology, but understanding psychology from a more spiritual perspective. He also goes into understanding dreams. That was the other big part of his work, was dream work. And that's kind of where it's been my interest my whole life. Ever since I was little, I've been having very, very symbolic dreams. And I actually have far more, you could say, spiritual experiences in my dreams rather than when I'm awake, because it's something.
I'm still here. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. It's saying all callers are muted.
Oh, no, you're not muted. Some people came in the room, and that's okay. And I was just muting the audience so they don't make noise. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Anyways, I was just talking about dreams and how that's like where I've had most of my profound experiences just ever since I was a young child. And they've always been very, it's like I never really realized how strange it was until I became an adult and looked back at what those dreams actually were that I was having when I was like 4 or 5 years old.
Wow.
And the dreams, I would have dreams about very, you could say, archetypal things, meaning like, very big picture symbols. Like I'd have a dream about like a giant volcano, like coming up in the middle of a city and like seeing the lava and like everything exploding and like raining down on everything. And it would be like a very powerful experience. And then I had other dreams, like I said, 4 or 5 years old, super vivid and detailed, of like meteors raining down on Earth, like being in a house. And like I vividly remember being in like a log cabin kind of thing. And like they were like coming down on Earth and catching the buildings on fire. And I had to like hide because everything was like on fire. Actually, a lot of my dreams involved fire specifically. I think you
were dreaming some of your past lives and healing through them at 5 years old.
I don't know.
That's what I get when you're talking. Wow.
Yeah, no, that totally could be, because I don't know where that would come from. I don't know where those
are the lives you lived. Some of them.
Yeah.
And what was going on in 5 years old? You were dreaming them, and in your dream state, there's lots of healing going on in those lifetimes. Yeah.
I feel
and
like
so even at 5 years old, your soul shards that have been broken like a glass thrown on the floor, and they're all broken to pieces, you were healing even at 5 years old. That glass was becoming whole again. That's what's going on here now when we're in the glory zone right now. Our glasses, our soul shards are all merging together. They're healing, and we're becoming whole again, WHOLE.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I do feel that totally. And the last one I was going to tell you about is that, and this is what's kind of really what's the start of my whole journey into the subconscious and the collective unconscious, is that, I had another one of those profound dreams about 4 or 5 where I was with a girlfriend, but it was a very this was a very abstract dream. It wasn't so physical. I was in some kind of strange, like, large hall with, like, it was almost like I was in a building like the Vatican or something, like something really old with of gold and stuff like that. But there were, like, pillars, and then I was walking through, like, a hallway, and then there was, like, a big set of double doors, like, real heavy doors. And I was with this girlfriend who we weren't talking, but she was just there as like a companion, I guess, and opened this door. And what it was this giant, like, the floor just went down. Like when you're at the mall, I don't know, I think of a mall floor. And I think that's where I got the image from my psyche, like the tile, like on the floor at the mall, like where they kind of, It like goes down into a ramp. It was like a ramp going downwards, but then that ramp turns into a spiral, and you can just go down and down and down and down. And so the girl and I just kind of like looked at each other, and we sit down on the floor, and we just ride down. And,
beautiful.
But what's crazy is as you go down, it was like, and some people might interpret this really crazy, but you went down and it was like a furnace. It was like a fire.
Do you know what fire does?
It got very hot. As you went down, it got brighter and it got hotter. So, no.
You know what fire does?
What?
Fire changes the nature of something.
Yes.
Yes. And
that's
healing.
Well, that's what it was.
Oh, my God.
Definitely, and but to me also, it symbolizes that going down that spiral is like what it is when you go down into yourself, into the depths of yourself.
Yes.
And with
into the fire of the heart.
It's the heart and the fire of change and transformation, which it's all in my astrology too. I'm a Leo sun and a Sagittarius moon in the sidereal. So I also have a lot of fire. I have 3 other planets in fire too.
And when did you have that dream that you just described?
That one was another one when I was like 4 or 5. One of the first dreams I can remember.
Wow. I'm gonna after this. I want to put you in touch. He's been on the Diamond Show. His name's Tori. He does DNA readings. And he'll give you every lifetime, he'll give you how many lifetimes you lived on Earth, what planets you lived in. It's really awesome. What you were when you were in your lifetime.
Cool.
He does free readings. So, and it's called readmydna.com, readmydna, .com. Isn't that awesome?
That is awesome.
And another thing I want to say about dreams, you can actually sit down, all those dreams you remember, take one of those dreams, sit down and just go back into that dream. You will literally, it's like jumping into a picture on the wall. You will literally go into that world, and then you can expand that world, and you walk around it. You can see what you saw in the dream, but if you keep looking, that dream will expand, and you can walk around in that lifetime.
Wow. Yeah, I'll have to do that. I mean, I've done it a few times actually, sort of with these dreams, just to kind of get more detail. And I'll have to do that some more.
Mhm. Oh my God, this is awesome. And I want you to give your contact information for your tarot reading so people can get that really quick.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and give that now, just before I finish up how that dreams transitioned into tarot. So my contact information right now, my website is www.rachellynn.com. I'm going to spell that out since my name's spelled a little differently. That's RACHELLYNN.com. And my email is rachel@rachellynn.com. So that is how to contact me. And I guess, just to finish that up, the whole reason I went dreams that has been with me since I was very young, and the reason this ties into Carl Jung is in his...
Say that one more time. You broke up. You lost about a sentence or so.
Okay. I was just saying that the reason I brought up all the stuff since I was very young is just to kind of show how it's like ever since I was young and I had that dream of like spiraling down into myself, like there's been this whole process where I've been guided to all this information that kind of specifically seemed to lead me to these particular types of tools that either connect to dreams or what's going on in the subconscious, what's going on in the collective unconscious. And Carl Jung actually even spoke of tarot as being the archetypes of the collective unconscious. It's heavily influenced by those symbols. So being naturally very in tune with my dreams and what symbols and dreams mean, I thought it was a natural thing to get more into tarot. So
Beautiful.
that's basically where I'm at.
Beautiful. And one more thing, if you take a note of this, after we're done, I want you to send me a picture of you, or a picture that represents you, or a picture of you and pictures that represent you, your links and everything. And I'm going to make a blog of you on my blog spot, Diamonds with an S Forever 31.blogspot.com. And I'm going to put this call link on the blog. I have a worldwide following on the blog, so I'm going to do that for you, okay?
Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That's wonderful.
Huh?
That's wonderful. I guess I'm jumping right in. I don't know.
You're jumping right in, girl, and take that leap of faith. Do not think that everything from this moment on, everything that you say out of your mouth will change people wildly. A wild transformation. Nothing is going to be skewed. It will be perfect, because you are perfect.
Thank you. As are you. This has been a great conversation so far.
I know, isn't it? I'm on a wild ride, I'm telling you. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to mute out, and I'm going to let you, I'm just going to soak in everything you have for me, hon. Love you so much. You sparkle like the bright diamond you are.
All right, so to start the reading, I like to kind of take a little bit of a meditative time to slow everything down in the mind and just kind of calm the energies overall to get to a more just a more neutral space where whatever wants to come up at this time can come up. And I know you muted. Do you have any specific questions that you wanted to ask, or do you want this to just be more general, what are the energies going on in you personally, what's going on in your personal position in the universe right now kind of thing, or?
Okay. Well, I'm just going to trust the universe that they'll bring me everything, every treasure that I need right now in all aspects of my life, spiritual, mental, physically, emotional. I do have one question. My passion on the Diamonds Call is to bring us and our star brothers and sisters into a more closer relationship. You know how relationships are. You meet somebody, you say hi, and you learn about them. You know, you see the UFOs in the sky. We know all that, but we want to become closer and closer. You know, when a team first just meets, they get to know each other and all that, and then it becomes more intimate with steps. So I wanted to see if there's any guidance in that, and you know, in all aspects of my life. I just, you know, I'd like to know where I go from here. I mean, I'm already on the glory train, and then just all that. I trust. Thank you.
Okay. Perfect. All right. I'm going to go back to taking a few deep breaths as I shuffle the cards, and I will let you know and walk you through it as they come out. All right. Wow, that's crazy. So the first card I drew already is the Six of Rods, this is totally the energy that you're talking about. It's the Six of Rods is showing a man on his horse with his companion with the victory wreath, like moving forward with the sun blazing behind them. This is like what you're talking about, you know. This is that energy of like moving forward, like you're on the train, you're going forward. That's the first card that popped out, and I'm still laying out some more. I'm going to kind of look at them overall in context. I just thought that's funny how that is that's so funny. Wow, okay. Let's see. thing is you have, let's see, how many, there's 4 major arcanas that popped up, which are very, I did 9 cards altogether, and I can even, I'll take a picture of this for you and email it to you so you can actually see the cards as well. You have the Wheel of Fortune, High Priestess, Strength, and Temperance. And those are all totally, I feel like the Wheel of Fortune is kind of related to what you're feeling about soul family, star family, people coming together. I'm not sure if you even mentioned family, but I'm getting that sense of it being like family. Like the Wheel of Time kind of is not necessarily karmic, but not karmic in like a negative sense of karma, but just the Wheel of Time is all about the experiences that you've had, but it's also the experiences that everyone's had. It's all of time for the whole universe for all it is, and we're all a part of these greater cycles, and then those cycles are a part of even greater cycles, and then those cycles are a part of even greater cycles. So this card it's in reverse. So I feel like you're charging forward with this very fiery, very victorious, enthusiastic energy. But what's being asked now with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse is it's like, it's time to align yourself with these cycles, like in the small scale and in the large scale. And in aligning yourself with this cycle, the more you're aligned in your, I guess you could say, in your personal cycle, in your own body, and then cycle of like the earth, getting in tune more with cycles of the planets, through astrology maybe, or things like that. Anything that cycle, just getting in tune with that rhythm or feeling into it, because you have a High Priestess right next to that as well. So, and she's also in reverse. So I feel like she's like really saying that the way to do this is to spend, it seems like more time maybe in meditation, but also this is about, because we've got strength right after the High Priestess. We've got 3 major arcanas in a row. These are like major themes, and it's about strength. So I think the High Priestess is kind of saying, find the power, and that's what it is. It's like find your inner power, this inner power that's already knows how to experience, it already knows how to do this, how to bring people together, how to do these things that you want to do that are in time, because obviously, there really is no time. It's an illusion, but it's an illusion that we choose to have so that we can play out these lessons in this experience. So what I'm feeling is to see that, to really tap in deep into your subconscious. What maybe, when I say subconscious, I mean what you don't know consciously about yourself, meaning you just don't know it. The only way to find out is to feel it and use that inner intuition, which is what the High Priestess is all about, using that inner eye. And looking for that, finding that inner power. How do you feel when you are connected to all your soul family, your star origins, and all of this already? How do you feel? It's a lot of power, because when you reconnect to all these aspects of yourself that that vibrate very close to you, like you were talking about, like fragments coming back together, the more that you gain, you're gaining an increasing amount of power and an increasing amount of responsibility also. So it's about, really becoming a master at that, becoming a master at using your own inner power wisely. And the next card I'm seeing is the Five of Pentacles, where there's these two figures who are standing out in the cold and the snow, kind of looks like they're crippled. One's very sad, and they're kind of sticking together with each other because they're both kind of in a state of misery. And there's a church right behind them with the lights on. They could go in the church if they wanted to, but they're kind of just staying outside in the misery. And this card is appearing at the center of the reading. And to me, this card is kind of what it's all revolving around. This whole reading is revolving around this energy here. And, it's like that feels to me like a lot of the collective unconscious energies that we have going on, because with being a human and having all of these memories embedded in our DNA of things that our human ancestors have went through, and if you look at some traditions, they say we've been in the spiritual dark ages for a while now. So during these spiritual dark ages for thousands and thousands of years, humans have really not been aware of their spiritual nature. They've forgotten. And this card shows two people who are like in misery and sickness. And, the positive of this card is even in the misery and sickness, they are sticking together and they are taking care of each other. And it's almost like, right behind them, they could just go in the church. They could just go in the light. They could just go into the truth if they wanted to, but they don't see it because they're so focused on their suffering. And a lot of times we do this. I don't know if this applies to you in your personal life at all. I'm just reading the energy of the card, but a lot of times we have things that we're going through or that other people are going through, and we'll talk to them about it, and sometimes we think we're helping by being like, yeah, I know how you feel, yeah, that sucks, that's terrible, things like that, because we think that saying those things to someone helps them feel better. And I experience this a lot too, because I'm a very sensitive person, and I just want to be there for the person. But sometimes, like, reinforcing those things, saying like basically, it's like it's like a quote I've seen before. It's like someone says, "I'm sick," and you say, "Yes," like you're very sick. You're putting more energy into that person staying sick by going like, "Yes, you're very sick." Like we move more into a state as we evolve spiritually of seeing people as their pure essence, where there is no sickness, And there was a master, what is it? I can't remember who he was, but someone said something about an Indian, I think it was like an Indian guru, that I don't see your sickness, like, it's like, don't ask me to speak to your sickness, like, I'm going to speak to you. Going to speak to the true you, So this energy in this card is about seeing the truth, beyond all the sickness that we all share, because we might even be missing our real soul family and our real, like, people in our star origin, because maybe they do on the external look like maybe they're sick or mentally sick, or maybe they have addictions, or maybe they are very poor, or, whatever it is. Maybe they've done terrible things. But none of that is the true them. And if we're going to, be reconnecting more to these sort of, people who are coming together, we have to be able to see the true essence of who they are. Really, all that I'm really seeing from that card. And in the next card, we have, next to this Five of Pentacles, we have the Two of Rods in reverse. And the Two of Rods is a card where the man is kind of like looking out over the ocean, over the land, from his balcony here with two rods, and he's got a globe in his hand. And because it's the number 2, it's kind of a card of there being decisions or choices. And in reverse, what I'm really feeling is like he's holding the earth in his hand, but upside down. It's like the earth could just fall out of his hand. And I'm card is like earth is literally falling right now out of a state of duality. It's like you can't stop it. It's already like it's dropping out of this guy's hand. So between these two rocks, in a free fall state right now in this spiritual acceleration that we're going through. It's like free fall out of duality. We're coming into oneness, and in the sense of realizing that everything is, that's how I see oneness personally in my experience, is literally everything is right now. Like just, straight up. Right now, that this is it. This is it right now. There's a lot of part of what I think also can prevent people from getting together is feeling like we have these feelings built up that it's going to happen someday, sometime, even if we think it's going to happen tomorrow, or even if we think maybe in an hour it's going to happen and I'll meet somebody, or maybe someone will walk in here and be shopping right next to me here at the grocery store in 10 minutes and they're going to be someone I'm going to connect to. Like any amount of feeling like it's going to be in the future or expecting something to happen in the future actually stops it from happening right now. Because when you're in that oneness consciousness of the one moment, that's what it is for me, is that there's one moment. And what do you see in that moment? If you see coming together with these people and these groups coming together in that moment, you're creating that reality. And that will start to happen. But because we still have this like collective illusion of time, there still might be time that it takes. But you're not going to be waiting. You're not going to feel like you're waiting around for it. Because you're like, it's already here. It's going to happen. You're creating it. You don't have any sense of like, well, is there more I could be doing? Is there, you're wondering when it's going to happen. It's already set in motion, It's going to happen because it already has happened. It's already here. And it's just a matter of tapping into that and finding that that feeling in yourself, or that vibration, and holding that vibration. Now, let's see, next card here. We've got the last row of cards. We have the Eight of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. So the Eight of Pentacles is about almost completing something that you've been working on for a very long time. And this person is like very carefully looking at the last, she has all the other gold coins representing the creations or the things that she's made up on the wall. And I feel like this is you in the reading, or I don't know, I would say the Queen of Swords is you. But you have this energy mixed in with the Queen of Swords here. And it's that energy of like you've worked on all these things and you're just like on this last leg of it, where you feel like that's gonna then it'll be complete. this series of work that you've been doing or whatever it is. But, and it's good. It's like, you know, well, nothing in the reading is good or bad. What I'm sensing is with the Queen of Swords actually has her back turned to this. It's like she's already moving forward. And it's through the thoughts, through the air element. It's like eventually you've got to kind of get up out of the earth element, which is the practical stuff, the work, getting things done, you know, making things happen that are real, tangible, like, you know, everyday things, or whatever it is that you've been working on that might be more physical, and eventually just going into the air with it and just seeing where the wind's going to take you. But also not in a way of like, it's not like escaping, finishing the work, but it's more just get up above it for a second. Like get up out of the details of it, but up into the open air where you can see the big picture. And when you see the whole big picture from that detached perspective, because even with the earth, you're kind of still tuned into your senses and your body, and there's still kind of emotions and stuff in there. But sometimes it really helps, like in this phase where you're about to complete something or you're not sure what the finishing touches are, to get into that air element like the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords in particular is she's very calculating. You know, you could almost say cold. She does not let the emotions put clouds in that clear air that she's trying to see the big picture in. Like the emotions create the clouds, and then you don't have that clear perspective anymore. And she needs that totally clear sky, that totally clear perspective, so that she can pinpoint what it is she needs to do next. And this has to do with the truth. The Queen of Swords is a big card about the truth. And just one more thing to note, when I say that she's kind of detached and she's kind of cold, it's not that she doesn't have heart. The air element actually is associated with the heart chakra. And as we know, planet Venus rules the heart chakra, and she rules both air and an earth sign. So the heart has the air element to it. It has both earth and air. And it's even like birds. We look at birds and we're like, oh, you know, they evolved from reptiles, so they're very cold and calculating. And they, you know, like eagles and stuff, they like attack their prey and are very cold about it. But birds also, when you watch a flock of birds flying around, or even just bird songs, there's a sense of heart there. Even though it's the air element, it is heart. It's like the song, the voice, that comes from that heart energy. And birds know where the electromagnetic fields are. They travel magnetic lines that are invisible, but they feel them, and that's how they know where to go. And that's exactly what this type of intelligence is with the Queen of Swords, is it's just tune into your heart so you can tune in to those invisible magnetic lines, and those will take you exactly where you need to go. And that's how you'll see for whatever this work is that you're doing, is tune into your heart, get into that groove of those, you know, magnetic lines, and maybe you're going to go to a whole other place on the planet. I don't mean literally, but maybe your imagination, or a whole other place in the universe, not the planet, or the whole existence, whatever dimension you need to go to. Doesn't matter, because air represents, you know, any dimension. It doesn't matter. It's still that very detached perspective. And that's definitely the way forward. And the last card that comes up is Temperance, which is the angel card here in this tarot. The one card with an angel on it, beautiful angel with glowing white light coming down on her head and on the tops of the wings, and she has a cup, 2 cups, looks like, yeah, 2 cups, and she's pouring water into one of the cups very carefully and gently. And since she's upside down, I feel like what this is it's like being blessed with a bunch of holy water, because I see the water is pouring out of the cup, and the glowing light that's on her head, it looks like it's actually being poured out from the water that's falling out of the cup. And so this is just what I see as like angelic blessing. This is it's a very, I feel like it's, to me, this is one of the most comforting energies that you can get, through. So I would imagine that you're probably feeling very connected to grace. It's grace. And with the strength card in the reading too, that inner power, that inner strength, it's, people call it all different things. Like we're moving through pond belt right now, so Earth's getting bombarded with light particles, or however you want to see it, like whether it's particles or more etheric light that maybe isn't so scientific, and dense, I guess you could say. Whatever it is, there's some kind of, and this is, I'm not getting the sense that this is just personal for you, that you actually, because you're the Queen of Swords, you have happening very clearly. You see this energy, this light that is like bombarding us, that we're being blessed with, this great. And it's for the whole collective, for the whole of existence.
Sorry,
and
you're breaking up. Sorry. Go back like
okay.
Three sentences.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just saying, it's like you can see this very clearly. This grace that's into the whole of humanity, the whole of existence, everything in creation, is giving us all of the strength that I was talking about earlier to reclaim that personal power. To, even it's about courage too. It's about courage to speak amongst the people who perceive that they're sick. And we all have this in some way. There's some part of us that just somewhere in our subconscious, otherwise we wouldn't be experiencing things like this. There's obviously parts of us that believe in sickness or the center somewhere. Not even us. I wouldn't even identify with it as me, because like I was saying earlier, is in truth, none of us are sickness. None of us are any of these things. But it's stuff that kind of comes that gets in our physical body, or it's in our emotional atmospheres, out and about in the world, in physical life. It's all part of these illusions that we've created to basically not for who we really are. And but what I'm seeing with this reading with the Temperance card there at the end is, it's like, especially in reverse, like, we don't have a choice. We have a choice, but this is happening. Like, this light is here. It's coming. This grace is here. This strength, this courage, it's all rising up. It's already here. It's happening, like, whether you like it or not. And no one's actually, the way I feel about it is, no one's not going to like it, because there's nothing not to like. This is just pure divine peace, peaceful energy. It can help bring peace to the most agitated or angry or hateful or vengeful person or energy. It can transform anything. And no matter what, and they're finding this with studies with the heart, that there's an institute called HeartMath. They do a lot of interesting studies about the heart's electromagnetic field. And the human heart, when it's in a peaceful state and it's giving a peaceful heart rhythm, like, the rhythms, I'm not sure what you call that, but the little, where you see the, EKG machine, your heart, the ups and downs. When you're in a peaceful one, like a normal, consistent rhythm where it's peaceful, it's very harmonious. It's very consistent, it looks. But when you have you're in an agitated or angry emotional state, those lines are jagged and going up and down and all over the place. It looks crazy. It's like chaotic. But what happens is, what's interesting is if you bring someone who's angry and in that chaotic energy next to someone who is in that peaceful heart energy, and this is scientific, like this is real, like, you know, this has been studied, and the person with that peaceful energy, you know, it's radiating through this electromagnetic field that exists around the body, and that person with the angry, you know, agitated heart waves, they slowly start to become more peaceful. They slowly they stop being so chaotic, and they slowly go towards peace. And the reason I bring this up is because it's like everything, no matter what, wants to go towards love, to go towards peace, that vibration, that totally peaceful. It doesn't matter, you know. We have free will and we have free choice, but at the end of the day, we all know that that's what we want deep down in our core and our true self, that we always prefer peace. And peace always wins. Love always wins. So overall, I guess that would be kind of the concluding point of the reading. It's like a reminder that love always wins. And everything's good. Everything, you know, I mean, maybe you could get even more out of this once I send you the card pictures, you know, for yourself, for your own personal interpretation. But, yeah, that's
oh, my God. Yeah, I got gold treasures out of this whole reading. You don't even know. And, yes, XO. XO is the code breaker. XO, kisses and love. Kisses and hugs. Love conquers all. Love conquers all. And you're talking about being a tuning fork. When you're a love, glory, drunken in the glory, which is that water being poured, I got the drunken glory. Yeah. Love, when you're in love, that tuning fork just tunes everything that you come in the presence of. And even when you mention,
and it can't help it. It can't help it, like, because it wants to be in harmony with that.
Okay, you're going to freak out. Just today, and on one of the cards, you said you feel like it's for me personally, and something about painting on my wall or something like that. Remember?
Yeah. The person was working on their something. I didn't know what it was. Well,
an hour before, I'm in creator mode. So much creator mode. Oh my God! I got these stencils. I got these stencils at the dollar store. And I made a mural on my bedroom wall. I'm looking at it now, and it's like wind. You said wind. It's a wind blowing. It's a wind blowing through with the pictures, like a whirlwind. But also, it's shaped. The whole thing is shaped like a top of an 8. A top of an 8. It's like the bottom half. Before you get to the curve of the bottom half of the 8, there's a little bit of a line. Go up and make the ball at the top of the 8, and then it starts going down. So what's missing is the curve at the bottom of the 8. Now, in the middle of this mural is a heart shaped with diamond gems, different colors. And the whirlwind going around this heart, which makes the figure 8, is butterflies at the bottom flying up. And there's a sign in there that says, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. And then the butterflies are flying up and going around the word love. And then the butterfly, and then it says kiss, the letter U, exclamation point, and a cloud of peace. The butterflies are going up in the whirlwind, flying around that. Then there's a cloud of peace, or the peace sign and the dove in there. There's another little cloud of love, and then the whirlwind goes up. It's 3 gems, and it makes into a cross, and it goes up and out of the room.
Wow.
I'm going to send you a picture of that.
That's perfect. It's that air energy, like going upwards, and butterflies are totally about the, in the air too.
The air in the 8, and then since the bottom half 8 is missing, that's what I'm working. Every single morsel of what you said, I'm in now. I'm working on it. It's for me personally, and it's for me of my journey of what I'm helping humanity with. Every single morsel, you don't even know. It's like,
I don't know because I don't even know what I'm saying.
I'm going to take a picture of this, what I have on my wall, and I just recently, look at the first card you just told me about, right? I met somebody recently, and that's all I'll say. I didn't literally, I've only talked to him for 15 minutes on the phone. That's it. And, okay. And everything, I'm telling you, is really, really, really good. It's all true. Oh, my God. I am so blessed. Every single thing. And when you were talking at the beginning about you see the wheel and the queen and what to work on, yes, that is, I need to balance more. I need to balance into being into energy. I need to balance more my nutrition, not energy. I need to balance into nature and my nutrition, my physical body, nutrition, and connecting with nature, and maybe a little bit more meditation, being alone time, instead of the busy. What else is there balance? What else in your life do we balance? Physical. I think I'm there with the spiritual. I need the physical, mental. I'm there with the mental and emotional. So it's mostly physical and with nature.
Yep, I feel that a lot too, especially with the strength card showing up. I feel like a lot of that comes from, because the strength card is the woman, she's got the infinity symbol or the 8 over her head, and she's holding on, petting the lion, like she's tamed this lion, but very, very gentle, very careful, and that's kind of the thing with the physical world and the physical life. It's because so
that's the bottom half of the 8 missing, the physical and the nature.
Yeah, that's what it is, and that's why it's the bottom, because that would be the densest part.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
You need that
See,
part.
You're right on. Oh my God!
That's where the strength actually comes from. Because here's the thing: is that if we just float away without our grounding, without our connection to Earth, without the core of the Earth, we don't have our true source of power. That's where it comes from. It's like a circuit that doesn't get completed if you just like you go off into your imagination, and say you're meditating, and you can go off into your imagination and not even just imagination, but you could literally be traveling and seeing things and experiencing angels and experiencing all these higher dimensional things, but unless it actually has that ground connection, that it doesn't get brought down here. You got to have that connection to the core of the Earth to bridge those two worlds, and all those experiences you're having with the higher dimensional energies and the more multidimensional aspects. You got to have that grounded, solid core. You got to have that connection to Earth. But it does take taming that beast, that lion, because it's that's where the whole idea of like the devil comes from, or Satan, or whatever, is that
the Lion of Judah is a warrior, and it's courage, and it's taking dominion with your words, with your emotions, your thoughts, and your meditation, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Petting the lion of dominion, take dominion over there. So what would you suggest, a few things to grounding to nature and grounding to physical body? I need to get in shape, and it's like I work a job, I'm a nurse, and then I come home, and I don't even have air hardly to breathe. They make me something to eat. I got 2 dogs, I got to take them down 3 flights of stairs, back and forth 3 or 4 times. I get good exercise. And then I, do the diamond show and the blog. I just do it once a week. So I just need to, so what would you suggest for physical health and grounding in that, and physical and nature, grounding in that? What could I start with?
The reason I brought the reason, did I cut out again?
A little bit, yeah. I didn't hear nothing you said.
Okay, I was still contemplating here.
Okay.
The reason I brought up the lion being like a beast that has to be tamed, and kind of like the whole devil archetype or energy, is just that it's anything that in the physical world, see, you can overindulge in the physical world very easily.
Okay.
That's where all these things come from, of like overdoing things. Yeah. And then to counter that, we kind of go to the spiritual stuff. We're like, all right, well, I'm going to balance it by doing like this, doing more meditation and stuff, which is good because that will bring you to the answers and whatever changes that your higher self is guiding you to make. So, but at the end of the day, there will be changes that you do have to make on the physical level, which is what you're asking, obviously.
Yeah.
I can't, like, personally, I could.
No, just like change my diet, like eat healthy.
Yeah.
I eat healthy. I just need to upgrade it more and more, a little at a time, small steps or big steps.
Yes, it's what your higher self is really guiding you to look at. And I guarantee you, if you really let your higher self connect to it in your heart, if you really just give it that chance, just say, you know what, I'm not going to judge myself. For one, the thing that helped me, because I changed my diet totally around. I started yoga. I haven't been doing that lately, but I've kept my diet changed for 3 years. And it all happened from just deciding to stop judging myself. I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and eat this junk food and all this stuff that I was doing, fast food and all this stuff, and just say I'm not going to judge myself for it and just love myself anyway. And I'm well on my way there. And nowadays with the energies, all of this is coming natural, so it will be easy for me to change this. Easy. My yoga's easy, but it's light. The more you love yourself while you're doing it and give yourself that support and the freedom to not have to be perfect. Let yourself, not have to be perfect at whatever it is. Because a lot of times we put all this pressure on ourselves to be absolutely perfect if we want to make like a big physical change like diet or working out or even like starting projects. For me, like painting, I really want to start painting, but I build up all these walls to it because I'm trying to be a perfectionist, and before I even get started, I'm like, because it's got to be perfect. It becomes so stressful that I don't even want to start it because I've created too many ideas of how it was going to have to be. So it's like, let go of ideas of how it's going to have to be and just really try to, in the moment, see, like, as you're about to do something, maybe like if you've got a little bit of free time, like, and it might be time to go, I don't know, to go get a meal or whatever it is, or you're at the store, just like.
Or if you want to eat just say a big large fry, you want to go now, so wait a half an hour before you do it. Little.
Yeah, little things like that. Really give yourself the chance to say, I'm going to give myself a chance for my higher self to like say what it needs to say. And sometimes you're going to go and it's going to say, yeah, go ahead and do this. Because sometimes when you're transitioning too on your diet, when you're transitioning, this is what happened to me, is like, it seems like it's actually good for you to transition like slowly. And the way that I did it, and because here's the problem, is if you ever want to change diet, and this can apply to anything, but what you don't want to do, the first thing you don't want to do is create a lack mentality. Like, oh, I'm not going to be able to have this anymore. I'm not going to be able to have that or this, and then that makes you feel kind of sad, and then that kind of like the vibration just doesn't, you don't want to keep doing that. Why would you want to keep feeling like that? You're not going to want to feel like that. So what you do, and what I did is I just started adding things. I just started learning new recipes that were actually things that I knew were healthy, like superfoods and foods that are supposed to detoxify your pineal gland, and like, getting and mixing it in with the spirituality too. So when you're making it, you're like, so for example, like raw cocoa powder. You can get raw cocoa powder, and that's a great third eye, like pineal gland stimulator. So I would start making smoothies with that. And, the more foods you start making that are like this good food that makes you feel really good on all levels, you just kind of add those in. And naturally you eat less of the other stuff because you don't even want it anymore because you're feeling so good with all these new things you're making. You know what I mean? Well, that's
already happening. I don't even crave hardly any meat anymore.
Yeah.
And I got some hemp stuff. I made I have a juicer.
Yep.
Yeah, So now I'm at the point I don't even crave food at all, really. Kind of, I don't even know what I want to. I don't even know what I want to eat, but I need to eat something. So now I'm gonna clean my whole cupboards out. And my son needs food. I'm gonna give him the not bad food. It's not bad, but he doesn't have a lot of money. So I want to clean all of my cupboards out, and I'm just gonna start from scratch. Serious, like all the box stuff, noodles and stuff.
Yeah, and fill it up with stuff you want in there, and feel good about it. And if you feel good about it, that's the best thing to do, because the more you feel good, the more healthy you're going to be.
Yeah. Wow, thank you so much. This is extraordinary. Wow. Be sure you send me what you want me to put on, anything you want to put on the blog, pictures of you and pictures to represent you and your links and anything you want to say. And I'm going to put this call link on there. And what was the other thing? I was going to tell you. I don't know. But it's all good. See how we co-created today? It's just, everything's spontaneous with me nowadays. I didn't plan on, planning the blog. I never even thought about that, for you and stuff. It's just like, and look at how it turned out. It's so beautiful. It's like
It is. And I think we've been on here for an hour, but it didn't feel that long at all to me. So.
Oh, thank you so much. And I'll send you the link to this too on the Facebook thing. And anything else you think of? Oh, I want to send you a picture. I have a picture on my phone I took today of what I did on my wall. Hopefully you can see it. I don't know, but if not, I sent them to Joe. He's going to upload those pictures to YouTube, one of our YouTube shows. Maybe I'll put it. Maybe we'll make this into a YouTube, and I'll put that picture. Do you mind?
No, not at all. I think we're friends on Facebook too. If you wanted to send it through Facebook.
Yeah. What is your name? I know Ethan's name. What's yours on Facebook?
It's Rachel Lynn.
Rachel Lynn. Okay, I'll just type it Rachel Lynn in. So here's you're going to go viral, girl. You're going on the blog, which is a worldwide following of the countries I don't even know of. Come on there. You're going to go on you're going to go on YouTube too. and my all my personal stuff, but it's for the micro and the macro too, is going to go out there. I don't care. I'm turning completely naked.
That's good. I feel that I'm going there too, and it's kind of a little scary at first, but it does feel better after a while.
Absolutely. That's all the natural. We're going all natural.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, well, I really enjoyed this time, Elizabeth. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to go public too and be shared with so many of your wonderful followers or listeners. I won't call them followers because we're all co-creators here,
Yes, and I declare that this call will go out to. It will be a magnet that will draw all people all around the world, not just this world, but this universe, the multiverse beings that need to have this for them to help them heal and expand in this ascension that we're going through now, this golden age, this paradigm shift. And yes, even in other realms and dimensions, the beings, they can use this to heal, and they are observing us, and they have lots of ways to do that. And you guys all pass it around too there in Galactic Wise. So I declare that in the name of who I am, and I am Diamond, Elizabeth Diamond, and so are you, my dear sister. You are a diamond, and you're fully lit up and bright, shining to the other diamonds, because only diamonds are the only stone that cannot be cut. The only thing diamonds can cut are other diamonds.
Ooh, wow.
I love you so much. This has been awesome. Oh, my God. I was so blessed yesterday when you said you'll do one, and I didn't even expect that. This is just everything. That kind of a surprise has been going on several times a day for the last 2 weeks. Started before Christmas.
Let's make it last the rest of the year. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I declared that too. It's Merry Christmas, Happy New Year all year long, and it's going to go beyond that from the years after that, So thank you so much. Thank you. Give your links and contacts again. since it's the end of the call here.
All right. I will do that. I'll just go ahead and shoot them to your email.
No, say it again, your contact at the end of the call.
Sorry. For my site. Okay. If you want to come see a little bit more of what I do, I've got my website at www.rachellynne.com. That's RACHAELLYNNE.com, and I can be emailed at rachel@rachellynne.com. And you can email me anything and everything you want to. I'm pretty much open, and I'll answer questions, to the best of my ability and my as much as my schedule allows. So I'd love to connect with you, even if you just want to say hi. So.
Aww. And I want you to give your husband's, your lover's contact too, his email and website, Ethan, and he's a sidereal astrologer, very new, paradigm shifting. Give that contact too, because when he does my reading, I'm going to do the same thing for him.
Yes. Okay. You can find Ethan at www.masteringthezodiac.com, and he can be found on YouTube under his channel Mastering the Zodiac as well.
Okay.
Oh, and he can be or he can be contacted through the site as well. His information's up there.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love you, and we'll talk again soon. And send me your stuff, okay?
All right, I will. Thanks again, Elizabeth. Good talking.
Have a great Sun Day.
You too.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Take care. Bye.